What do Falcons do? We rise up. Welcome to Rise Up Reactions, the show where we talk all things Falcons, NFL, Georgia sports, and in general, the sports news of the day. I'm your host, Dr. Lee Denning, the Golden Hard Dog, and a lifelong sports fan. Coming back to you guys today, just really wanted to touch base on something that's been going around. An announcement was made earlier this week where Raheem Morris and his coaching staff, they're approaching the preseason in a very unique way. I don't know that I love this way of approaching it, but they are approaching the preseason almost purely as evaluation for fringe players or guys who are going to make the roster, and they're really doing their best to not play any starters or even any known backups at this point in time. We saw a couple of highlights from guys like Ruke Orhorhoro in the last preseason game, where he had an incredible bulldozing sack early on against the Ravens. But oddly enough, we did not see Michael Penix. We saw Taylor Heinicke for basically the whole game. And we know what we have in Heinicke. And he looked just like Heinicke has always looked. We didn't see a lot of guys that we're thinking are fringe players. We saw a lot of Jace McClellan and Casey Washington. Looks like we won't see any Avery Williams. Looks like he's going to already have a locked-in spot on the possible return squad or special teams. So we're not seeing him. But basically what I'm getting at is pretty much everybody that's being seen right now by the Falcons is not somebody that's that's guaranteed to make the roster. In fact, most of them are probably going to be practice squad or cut. And the biggest question mark here is, why are you not getting Michael Penix, your future, your quarterback who is going to be 27, 28 years old potentially by the time he starts, if this plan that you put in place goes like you want it to? Why are you not giving him as many live game reps as possible? We've said many times that we are trying to follow the Packers model with Jordan Love when they still had Aaron Rodgers, and it just seems like they're not doing that because, no surprise here, Jordan Love played in the preseason, and he played a lot in the preseason for the few years that he was sitting on the bench, and that probably has provided him at minimum some real game experience to at least get him up to speed or help him or show him the speed of the NFL compared to the speed of college. I think it's important, and I completely disagree with that plan, but it is what it is. And I just wanted to say, I think that the Falcons might have had the plan to play starters or play guys that need to shake some rust off or evaluate for depth positioning on the roster. I think they might have had that plan in week one because you saw a lot of guys who needed reps, guys like DeMarco Hellams, you saw Braylon Trice, and then even before that game even happened, you had Rondale Moore. All of them went down with gruesome injuries. Thankfully, DeMarco Hellams did not end up on IR. We fully expect that he is going to be put on short-term IR as soon as roster cuts are made and locked in so that they don't have to put him on season-ending. If they put him on IR right now, it is season-ending IR. There's no other option for short-term IR. So we're pretty sure they're waiting to do that with him so that he'll be back sometime, maybe middle of the season. But that was one of the things that prompted them to go out and sign a huge safety this past week. And then again, the Braylon Trice thing. Also, we knew that we were going to have trouble, so we ended up getting Matthew Judon in a trade with the Patriots. So I think that some of these injuries have been somewhat blessing in disguise for the Falcons in terms of getting players who are going to be key components on the defense and who are Pro Bowl, All-Pro caliber. Been a little bit of a blessing in disguise there, but also you never want to see injuries. And these are all young guys that are getting injured that you want to see and you want to evaluate. They're in their prime more or less or about to be in their prime. And I don't like seeing that. And I think that with so many injuries in week one of the preseason that they became very gun-shy and did not want to kneecap themselves going into the season. So it makes a lot of sense why they're hesitant to do it, but it doesn't make a lot of sense to me why you wouldn't want to play Michael Penix as much as possible. Because honestly, if Kirk Cousins goes down, this season's probably going to be a wash. Even if Michael Penix is good or great, it's going to take a little while for him to get up to NFL speed. And you're not going to see a lot of success early. You'll probably see success as he builds some repertoire with the starters, as he gets into the group. Heck, last year, Jordan Love, the Packers were a tale of two teams last year, a tale of the first half and a tale of the second half of the season. The Falcons beat them in the first half of the season. And I say that knowing that I am a Falcons fan. We were not a good Falcons team last year, all things considered. Our defense was great, but our offense was terrible, and they still found a way to beat the Green Bay Packers last year early on. But Jordan Love, if you played that game later in the season, they would have destroyed us by 20 points or more. I can almost guarantee it. With that in mind, though, I do think that it makes sense why they're sitting Michael Penix. I just wanted to say that I completely disagree with not playing the starters at all, not shaking rust off. I think you have coaches in the NFL that have seen that they want to get their starters some live game reps, shake the rust off, get things going like they need to. You've seen the Dolphins do that. You've seen a few other teams around the league do that. And I think those are teams that are going to be better poised to go in and kick some butt week one. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. Do you agree with Raheem Morris and this coaching staff in basically not doing more evaluation, not getting more game reps? Do you think that the one half of football that Michael Penix played was enough for anybody to just say, hey, he's fine. We don't need to see any more from him. He's going to be QB2, and we're eventually going to make him QB1. Is that enough for you guys? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing. And as always, rise up.